Subscribe to the channel and comment down below saying I subscribe to enter this month's shoutout giveaway. As much as we all love watching the NBA, it's easily the league that has had the most controversy surrounding it in recent years. From the reckless decision of LeBron James 2 summers ago to the infamous Portland Jailblazers, the NBA has not been without its fair share of negative and or interesting press. That being said, let's dive right in as we take a look at the most controversial figures, both players and non-players, in the history of the NBA. Patrick Ewing. Though some may view him as a pillar of morality for his generation of players, Patrick Ewing's off-court life was not without some controversy. In 2001, he testified in the famous Atlanta Gold Club prostitution trial. In his testimony, Ewing admitted that he had gone to the club twice and had received oral sex in the club each time. How is this controversial compared to other athletes who did the same thing? Well, it should be taken into account that Ewing is a father of 3. He may have been divorced at the time, but there's just something wrong with that picture. Reggie Miller. Here we have someone whose controversy comes in the form of talking trash. Reggie Miller became notorious for this throughout his career, and at times it got him into trouble. We've already gone over the headbutting incident with John Stark.
Talk trash. I think that incident was more because, John was running out and I was hitting threes on him, and he got a little bit frustrated.
So here's some more controversial highlights from Miller's career. In Game 5 of the 1994 Eastern Conference Finals, Miller famously made a choking gesture at film director and die-hard Knicks fan Spike Lee. In 2000, he drew the ire of Knicks fans when at Madison Square Garden, he shouted an obscenity at the crowd as they chanted, "Reggie sucks, Reggie sucks." In 2001, in a game against the Los Angeles Lakers, Miller was fined $5,000 for making an obscene gesture at the fans. That same year, he was fined and suspended for a game after throwing a wad of chewing gum at a referee. The man was a troublemaker, but he seemed to embrace it. The Jailblazers. Alright folks, it's time for the point that I'm sure you all knew was coming. First, allow me to give the backstory. In the early 2000s, the Portland Trail Blazers were looking to rebuild following a loss to the Los Angeles Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. While they did have some talented players during this period, there was a problem. These guys were known more for getting in trouble with the law off the court than they were for doing well on the hardwood. That being said, here are 6 of the most controversial Trailblazers and their actions that earned them said label. Shawn Kemp, cocaine abuse, alcoholism, weight problems. Rasheed Wallace, arrested for marijuana possession, set NBA record with 40 technical fouls in one season. Damon Stoudemire, multiple marijuana-related arrests. Ruben Patterson, pled guilty to attempted rape of his child's nanny, convicted of assault, arrested for domestic abuse. Quintel Woods, caught running an illegal dogfighting ring. Zach Randolph, arrested for driving under the influence of marijuana. Still need further proof as to why this group is controversial? Shaquille O'Neal. Though he is easily one of the game's most charismatic figures, Shaquille O'Neal is not without controversy. He was once caught cursing on live television, and his enormous presence at center led to some physical play that some consider dirty. On top of that, Shaq got into a share of on-court skirmishes throughout his 19-season career, in an era where the higher-ups in the commissioner's office were looking to clean up the game. The former LSU Tiger adopted an old-school on-court philosophy that if he felt shown up or disrespected, he would disrespect the guilty party right back. Call me crazy, but I'm going to miss that from the big fella now that he's retired. Stephon Marbury. Stephon Marbury had been controversial and outspoken throughout his career. When he was with the New Jersey Nets, he wrote the words "all alone" on his sneakers as a way of saying he felt he didn't have his teammates' support. Such was the case as he was traded to the Phoenix Suns for Jason Kidd, and the Nets underwent an immediate turnaround. He wasn't any better in Phoenix, but his time with the New York Knicks was easily the most controversial. Marbury famously clashed with then head coach Larry Brown when he was simply asked to play defense and pass the ball more. Later, after Brown was fired, Marbury clashed with then head coach Isaiah Thomas about his attitude and ultimately left the team after being removed from the starting lineup. He later underwent a season-ending surgery on his ankle that was reportedly deemed unnecessary by the team. The following year, Marbury refused to play even when in uniform and was subsequently banned from the team in every aspect. After dragging out the process as much as he could, he finally agreed to a buyout of his contract. Marbury's controversy may not seem so in the most literal sense of the word, but the fact that he had such a blatant disrespect and disregard for his team, especially the one from his hometown, is just astounding. Also, let us not forget the Vaseline incident. Steve Francis. Steve Francis's NBA career was marred by controversy before he even set foot on the court. The Vancouver Grizzlies drafted him with the 2nd overall pick in the 1999 draft, and shortly afterward, he publicly announced that he did not want to play for the team. He eventually got his wish and was traded to the Houston Rockets, but the saga was far from over. Francis demanded a trade out of Houston when Jeff Van Gundy took over Rudy Tomjanovich's position as head coach. His reason was not wanting to play in his new coach's defensive system. He was then traded to the Orlando Magic, and his attitude barely changed. He spent the remainder of his NBA career with the New York Knicks, and then had another stint in Houston, but weight problems had robbed him of his once electrifying talent. Controversy and bad attitudes had prematurely ended the career of Stevie Franchise. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.